we're just gonna jump right into it. Howdy, guys. I'm here with Nick.
Hello.
And Noah.
I told you all the ban list was going to happen after Richmond. You're all fools. They think there's 300 YCS and they don't put the ban list at the end of it? What are you fucking thinking?
There's a recurring bit in our friend group that the ban list... This happened mostly before we started getting like live ban lists at events, but there was a bit that ban lists only happened when I was busy at work. Because the first time I started like this job... we got a ban list like while I was doing a weekend computer install at our branches, and then the next time we got a ban list, it was in the middle of me repairing like a Mac that had broken, because I work in IT, and today I was in the middle of like a emergency meeting, and we got another ban list. So
It's
I
like,
didn't see it till like
hold on, guys. Hold on, Mr. Smith.
I didn't even
know.
see. My phone started blowing up, and I was like, it's probably just my family in like the group chat because my mom had just texted me something like 5 minutes before the ban list came out. So I just assumed it was my family talking in the group chat. And then we finished the meeting, and I look at my phone like 30 minutes later. I'm like, what the fuck? Ban list. So
That's crazy. I really thought it was going to be Richmond.
I really
Well,
did too.
now, guys-
I literally gave up. We uploaded a video on Monday, the premise of which had to have no ban list to make sense.
We said it in the beginning of the video. I was like, Mr. Konami, if you want to post a ban list and invalidate this video, please go ahead. I'm totally fine with this.
And it's
That's
like,
I will take that trade.
I'll be annoyed. I won't be upset. And you know what? I am annoyed, but I am not upset.
See, this is perfect. It's literally perfect.
True. So we got a ban list. We're going to talk about it. That's pretty much our only topic for today. I suppose we can just jump right into it.
Yeah.
I'll share my screen so you guys can see.
Yippee.
We'll do this in the traditional order. First of all, we'll start with the unlimits, just to build suspense.
Okay,
Unlimited.
okay.
First, Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. Shout out to Dragon Link.
I hate
Probably
it.
not that good.
That's probably
They're
true.
probably fine. Like,
Didn't they play it at 2 anyway? I think you play like 2 white and 1 black.
that's the normal ratio. If you had more chaos space, there might be an argument to play more, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Dark Grepher.
Doesn't really matter. It was
No.
there because of his old shit.
I
Old
see.
man, so
Okay.
we're fine. Nick, do you wanna give me a little sneak preview of what's going on in the next item on the list?
Oh, see, Racing came home. He finally came home.
Raisin!
I've been waiting. I've been patiently waiting.
Raisin came home. Raisin came home.
I
I like
can't
to
be
think
mad.
it was that video. I think it's actually my fault. I think that I'm to blame for this.
Yeah. We got Joshua
so
Schmidt in one ear, Grant in the other.
Yeah. So we saw the ban list already. This is not a surprise to any of us. But I saw it in the order we're about to do it. So I was like, oh my fucking God, they're putting Raisin back. And I was like, what are they doing to justify this? Because there's no fucking way. They are just unbanning Raisin
Listen,
and
if they
spoiler
just
and
did
steak.
this,
and
I think
calling
I would
it.
have an aneurysm and I would die of happiness.
They just bring it back up to full power. They're just like, nah, we were wrong. Bring it back.
Listen, all
We
it did was
fucked up.
it just won Worlds. You know, it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
It was only okay. No, I'm happy. I like the Vanquish Soul cards. I think I'm finally ready to admit that I do like those cards. I just
Oh.
hate the K9 cards so much. And I'm happy for what has... No, I won't spoil what's happened, but I'm happy what's happened has happened. Because I think
see.
the Vanquish Soul cards are the cool cards of those deck. I think that's like the fun part of the deck to play against.
You know, it's interesting. We didn't get any of the bans to limits, but we got a bunch of those, like, old-ass cards that are fine to come back at 3 now,
Yeah.
so that's cool.
Yeah.
You think these are going to be real?
No.
I will say
I think the
Snatch
most-
Steal and Change of Heart are very funny for Hecka Hands. It's a massive Hecka Hands buff.
Great
Alright,
Hacker Hand
I'll
spot,
take
but
that.
Lord of Mercy. We also got Wyvern Buster and Trident back. Not doing anything. We
Was
literally
Trident
have...
banned or was he at 1?
He came to 1 on 2 ban lists ago, and he is now unlimited.
So a bunch of cards that don't
I didn't
matter.
know. I couldn't remember.
Okay, get
Yeah,
to the
I-
semis.
I
I,
s-
really want to talk about
Hold
this.
on, hold on.
Oh
'Cause
my god.
Fine, I just
No,
saw a
no,
tweet
no.
that annoyed me, and I just wanted to talk about it.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about it.
There was someone on Twitter who said that Trident was literally better than Detonator, and I think I had an aneurysm. Moving on.
Sure, it literally is. You could.
Inclusion-
That hurts my soul to hear. Truly hurts my soul.
it's also
I love
just-
Detonator, man.
It's also just an insane thing to say. Like, in general.
It is. It is very
really
insane.
is.
Like literally, if you just like if you take into account context, it's insane. If you don't take into account context and read the card, it's even more insane.
Inclusion is back. Crystron forever.
This is how I knew they were doing
10,000 years.
This is how I knew they were doing something with the fucking canines. Because there's no way you do this if you don't.
Yeah.
I would agree. That's a fair assumption. You expect if they brought back Inclusion and the other cards they just limited, they have to be doing something.
So obviously they're putting Jokul to 2. So we got Droll semi-limited. This is so
very
funny.
interesting.
All right,
what a weird hit.
I'm just gonna say this right now. Anyone that listens to this, and if you're going to Richmond, for the love of God, do not take this as a sign to play at FDK. I cannot go to Richmond and get FDK because Droll's at 2.
Do it.
You cannot do this to me.
Logan, I know you want to.
Logan specifically. No, Droll, listen, man. This is I think this is very good, but it's very dangerous. I think we need another Charmy if we want to justify getting rid of Droll.
No, I think doing this is good. I think getting rid of Droll is good. But if we're doing this, we need to be fully understanding and agreed that we need to be a little bit more proactive on these upcoming lists. That if a deck is out of hand, we are not going to be nice to it. We're not going to give it a little tap on the wrist anymore. We're going to start actually taking them out back.
We gotta put on our big boy pants and start cutting the dicks off of these combo decks.
Yep.
But I do like that Droll is hit. I really like that Droll is hit.
I do too. I think it's a big debate going on right now, but I think the hit to 2 is really interesting because I feel like all of the staple hits in the past long
been
while,
all or nothing, right?
Huh?
I feel like they've all been all or nothing, or they go randomly to 1.
No, I think everything's gone to 1, hasn't it? I can't think of a staple that
I can only think of Shifter and Talents.
Most of them
Shifter,
going to
Talents, Bestials,
Oh yeah, Bestials.
Except when they're in the weird case of exactly Lightning Storm, but I figured that was because Harpies was at 1.
I don't know. I still don't understand what they were going for with that.
I mean,
I
to
don't
me,
think
it
anyone
makes
did
sense.
when it happened.
Yeah.
So I think the Droll particularly is very interesting because I feel like the approach with the staples they've taken is we can't remove it because we want certain decks that they beat to have it come up over a tournament, if that makes sense. I don't really know how else to put that. I feel like that is the philosophy I'm reading into this of you should have the maybe not with Shifter as much. But I feel like if you just take a rogue deck that loses to Magnemite, you're going to run into Magnemite over the course of the tournament, if that makes sense. But you're not going to have it at 3.
Your odds went from 33 to 22.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that when it comes to ban lists, I mostly just look to see if cards move in the direction that I want them to move in. And I find it hard. I think it's difficult to justify being angry when they move in the direction I want them to move in, but they're not moving enough. You know, it's frustrating that Shifter's at 1, but I'd rather it be at 1 than 3. You know,
that is true.
Yeah,
So I guess,
but in the case of Droll again, this is a really hard thing. Droll's such a weird card because Droll as a card is it's this thing. It's this catch-all card that fixes bad formats and makes them so they're less intolerable. But the issue is if when those formats happen, they should just be dealt with. So this is a weird position to be in because now by hitting Droll, you're in a way of promoting people to play the outlandish kind of FDK style combo decks in the hopes that they'll see that and okay, those decks are not going to live very long because of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is a good change. We will see what happens.
Also, Hero Forever getting buffed till we die.
That's true.
Yeah, now you can actually search your Stratus and not die when they Droll you.
That's true.
Oh, don't you mean search your Stratus and not die a third more of the time?
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
sorry.
Exactly.
All right. Meat and potatoes. Limited. First of all, Hotel Malulu.
Labubu not limited.
Labubu! That's an odd limit.
Nah, it's probably the best Draco Tail card.
You think so?
I think it's close.
A lot of people are asking for 5 mana to get limited, and I've never disagreed with a limit more in my life than the theoretical 5 mana limit.
It's just such a weird spot. I understand why, because people don't like getting 5 mana on turn 0, But maybe this is a hot take. As like again, I play VS. I think
As
if
the
you
guy
get
who puts 2
5 mana,
5s on the board and forces 5 mana out before it's ever impactful.
but I'm also saying like if you're playing and you're going first and they 5 mana you, that 5 mana has got like a 2. It's got like it's so variance and if it's a good 5 mana or not.
Yeah.
Because like if you don't see one of the dragons, the 5 mana bounce too. Whoopee, man, that doesn't feel that good.
And they burned 3 cards out of their hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
And
I
like
don't
if
know.
you have removal on your turn, suddenly they've burned those 3 cards for no reason.
Exactly.
I don't know. As a person, listen, as the person who forces out the 5 mana very early, Nick, you say you're fine with it. As the person who gets 5 mana like their life depends on it, I'm also fine with 5 mana staying at 3.
I understand I understand like why people are very frustrated with the fact that 5 mana exists, but it's like I don't think the 5 mana being at 1 or 3 does not change the game states when your opponent just searches 5 mana anyway. It just like it doesn't matter. But Lulu, unironically, this again a crazy
This bastard's
thing.
annoying.
I don't like the fact that they get it. They get because again, it just makes their anytime if they open Malulu, their Ketus, their Rahus, they just get better. They're just better.
Yeah.
If they open Malulu Ketu or Pan Ketu, I think they just win the game against Yummy like on the spot.
And
is
again,
true.
that's just again, we're just trying to remove. And the thing is, I think people forget is that Malulu is a permanent negate. So if like you negate something, but you don't kill it, it still doesn't do anything. Like that's
Yeah.
massive.
It is just sitting in your EMZ. Yep.
I think it could have been so much worse for Draco.
No, it definitely
Oh,
could
yeah.
have.
I think they could have done more, but again, Burst is coming out, and the way you sell Burst is by keeping the deck that wants to play all the new engines in it.
Yeah. Ooh,
Playable.
we're gonna cut the consistency cards, so you have to play the new. It's very funny because now they're giving a new normal summon that produces a Cartesia instead of a normal summon that produces like a Cartesia, but only for Draco Tails.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess we'll go to the next one. Fuck this guy. Get him out of here. It's Jokel's the one. Thank
Yeah,
the
that's a
Lord.
pretty good one.
Dog, I hate this guy.
Listen, I've told this to people a lot. I think this hit is big. I think it hurts a lot of canine decks, but I think it hurts decks that are very, very aligned on the canine cards way more than it hurts decks that are used that are not like so fully reliant on the canine cards to have an actual gameplay loop. Like I think decks like Crystron Canine, I think the Furhire Canine deck, I think those decks take a massive hit by losing this card solely on the fact because they really want to use that card to play and do a lot of their setup. So
I think just having an archetypal 5 and being able to Jokel it out is one of the most unfun gameplay loops you can do. It's just so stupid.
Normal Nari, Imperm Nari. All right, we'll go Joker, reveal Solfador.
And you're like, oh, well, now I can cookie book both those guys, but they're still gonna get Sulfador dumped to fuckos. If they reveal Jiaolong, they're just gonna switch it back to attack mode. It's Jokel produces such an annoying play pattern.
I agree. But I will say this doesn't. Good.
No, I just think Jokel's very hard to future proof.
Yeah, I would agree. Jokel is a card
dangerous.
that there's no easy way to prevent the card from being good. I will say this though, you have I think you have nearly the same number of copies if you want them, because there's cards like Chaotic Elements exist. But again, those cards are a lot worse than just opening Jokel on its own. So it'll be interesting.
I can Bell Chaotic Elements.
You can.
Every time I have a Bell in my hand against VS K9 or some other random K9 deck, I'm like, all right, what can I Bell? And it's fucking nothing except for Lupus. But every now and again, they'll activate Chaotic Elements, and I'm like, hang on.
Yeah, it's not bad. When you get to do it, it's very good. I will not lie.
The next dunk is Holly Suda 1. I think people are. I talked about with Nick. I talked about this with Nick right before we got on. People are complaining about this. This means very little, I think.
I think people act like this change makes it going second a lot harder for VS. I will say it makes it a little bit harder because you're just not going to open the card going second a lot. Even if you don't do the turn 0 Holly Suit play, open card's very good. The card does a lot. But I also think that people are underestimating how easily accessible this card is a lot of the time. Especially with 3 Raisin and 3 Stinker Soul, theoretically, if your opponent doesn't interact with you at all, you have 12 ways to get to this one of. I don't think it's that big of a deal. The bigger issue is you're gonna have to play in a way where you cannot let your opponent remove it from the game. I think that's gonna be the bigger issue with this card. So
yeah, just got to keep it in rotation at all times.
Yeah, which again that makes it a little bit harder because rock add back is again only once per turn, so it's like you're really playing the game of what do you need.
Yeah. Do you think this bullies Shifter out of Vanquishable decks, or do you think it stays?
I don't think so. I think I think again, if I shifter my Dragatel opponent and they pass, like I kind of don't. That's kind of good for me.
That's true. It is.
Speaking of one-ofs, everybody, I want you to pour one out for your boy. He left us too soon. My boy Yummy Snatchy.
Yeah.
Sure,
Rip
buddy.
that guy.
Sure.
I don't know. I think
That
this
guy.
is a really fair hit. Like only like if this, Draco Tail got 2 cards hit. If Yummy gets only 1 card hit, then like I feel like that's pretty fair, right? Even if it's their best one.
You forget that people are playing. We'll get there actually. The next one's a Yummy hit.
The hyper librarian builds are gonna go so crazy.
Oh, they're gonna go crazy!
Again, I'm gonna say this. Again, this. Tell me if I'm wrong. I know this is impactful. I know it's frustrating, but everyone on Twitter and online right now is acting like you're gonna banish the one of Snatchy. Like it's like you're just gonna do that every game. I'm like, I think in my time of playing this game, the amount of times I get to remove a Snatchy, like and it be meaningful, it's like so low. The odds of you, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna be that likely.
I would 100% agree. I think people are whining about this for like almost no reason. Like,
Really?
it's gonna be bad. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is really bad. But it's not bad for like end board reasons. It's just bad because I really like having a Snatchy for follow up almost at all times. And now you have to play like a different Link one, which means you're gonna be forced to play into like some wacky shit more often. But I just don't think it's that big a deal. Like you could just play Link Karibo and like Grav controller, and it's strictly worse. But is it so much worse that we're like losing our minds? I just don't think so.
Yeah.
My other thing that I want to bring up is like, I think people underestimate. Again, this might be a level of, like you have not played. People have not in Yummy have not thought about this card that much. I think people underestimate how good Link Rebo is in like a deck like Yummy, because one, it's a Link 1 for your starting play, and it's also a Link 1 that you can summon back at any point during your turn. Like, again, I think honestly, what more so might happen is that pure Yummy as a deck will opt to honestly not play Purge anymore, so they can always have Link Rebo in rotation and be able to use it. I think that might be like the big thing. Or if you play Purge, you're really gonna have to be like very conscious of the fact if you Purge, you don't get Link Rebo anymore. So it's like I think that's gonna be the biggest thing.
Yeah, Link Rebo is just like I think I can credit double digit amount of games to playing Link Rebo in Soulful Yummy specifically. Like just to like your opponent goes to I guess it doesn't really matter now because for reasons. But if your opponent goes to battle to out a Herald, you Link Karibo to like get a guy on the field to get the Link Karibo back on the field so they can't immediately swing into the Herald. It's incredible. But I think people always sleep on Link Rebo. I think it's a lot better than people give it credit for.
No,
In
that
Yummy
card was
specifically,
banned.
because one specific man keeps telling everyone it's bad.
Yeah, I know. It's
I love
crazy.
that guy, but I don't think he's right about that. But the next, I guess it's technically a Yummy hit, but this one I'm happy to see. Ame no Habakuri no Mitsurugi has gone 2-1. Thank the Lord.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know.
Is it just over?
I think this specific Mitsurugi hit, is not that consequential in a vacuum.
Okay.
I think Pierre Mitsurugi is fine. They have other cards they can fill in that slot. They're not great, but they you can fill them in. Like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Mitsurugi can be as consistent as you want it to be. The problem is like those consistency cards involve playing like a lot of normal summons. But I don't think that this is like the end all be all. I think this sucks for them, but I think that it's fine.
As
I
three
think they'll
players who
live.
have put in a lot of time and think so often about Ame
Listen,
no
I have put-
Habakiri no Mitsurugi.
I have put a non-zero amount of time in considering Mitsu for Yummy and then not playing it.
Yep.
So, no, I think that this is not like the worst hit in the world. I think that this will be fine. Like they can't like kill Mitsu because there's that Mitsu structure deck coming out later this year. I'm pretty happy with this change specifically.
Mm-hmm. So
Next one, sorry, go on.
no, just I was going to move forward. This one's really confusing for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Case for K9 has gone to 1.
Yeah.
I think that this is in accordance with the Jokul hit, just to see less copies of Jokul, Noroi, etc. I have like kind of
again-
mixed thoughts about this one.
Again, I think that's the level of again, I'm pilled. I don't really like playing the other canine decks that aren't VS, but it's like I think a lot of times if you look at the canine decks that do well or have done well, the reason they do well is because of Noroi.
Hmm.
And the card that gets to Noroi is Case. Am I removing 2 copies of Case? Which means now, if you really want to be playing Noroi in your canine deck, you have to commit to playing 3 of it. And not every version of the decks that we're opting to play, we're not playing 3. Like a ton of VS decks opted to play 1 to 2, but they maxed out on Case. So it's like now you're forcing them to play a card that generally in multiples is not a good card. Opening multiple Case, it sucks, but at least it's a card. Like at least you have the flexibility to get whatever you want with the card. So
Yeah, and like worst case scenario, you just play chaotic elements, and it's like a little bit worse, but not so much worse that I think it like kills the deck. You know?
I think it is worse, definitively, in the sense that if your deck revolves around Noroi being the centerpiece comboer, I think Chaotic does not solve a lot of those issues. Like, for example, the Farhire Canine deck, a lot of its combo lines were based on Noroi. So if you have to go Jokul as your first step, you have to have another 5 in your hand, which, again, that deck doesn't play that many. Even with the amount of canine cards it plays, it's not that many. So it's like, it may not have a good 5 that it wants to summon. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think my thing is just like I really like Azuna and I really like Lupus, but I really hate the other canines. So if we're enforcing a play pattern where you would play Azuna and not the other canines, I'm happy with that.
That's fair.
Well, that's
Like I really like Azuna as a card. Like it's one of my favorite.
Azuna-
It was my favorite design card of 2025. So like I cannot like hate the card.
Yeah, Azuna might be in my top 5 cards of 2025. To be honest, and I played Yummy, so.
interesting. You know, I appreciate that we did this in actual order, so we don't. So, like, we just said, "Oh, we'll talk about Draco Tail, then Canine, then Yummy, and then we'll loop back to the most important hit." Oh, this one.
And listen, I enlighten us because I'm telling you right now, I'm ready to pop the fuck off about when you're done talking.
Oh,
Lord.
what about Ketu?
Yep.
Yeah, pop the fuck off. What do you mean? This is the best design card ever made, and it's gone.
This one is probably
You have one. You have a copy.
Okay, yeah, one. All right. I think this is not as bad as it appears, like, at its face. Because on the one hand, like, drawing Ketu off of your traps is just, when you're probably setting it anyways, is a little miserable. We're getting the new wind to be able to just shuffle it back and reuse it if you're not willing to use the traps to burn it, but you're probably shuffling it back with your first trap anyway. There are just a million ways to get back into this. I really like this as a limit because it becomes a resource managed card, not, oh, this got Judgment Hit, I'll activate a second one. Because that, as good as that felt. It's just the consistency hurts, especially with the Malulu gone, but could have been a lot worse.
Mululu gone. It's at 1. No,
It's gone.
I
There's
think
no
that,
way
like,
to it.
I like Ketu as like a piece that is available, and but I don't like it when like your first action going like second is like Ketu, and it's like, oh my lord, maybe that's the Yummy gamer. Maybe that's
gone.
the Yummy. Yeah, the board just disappears. I think I've made the joke like 20 times that like without Herald, your Yummy board folds to a Ketu, and now it's gonna fold to a Ketu a little bit less.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also like Ketsu from a design point because I think that cards should do more going second rather than going first. I like that it lets you search and then fusion summon, and like the fusion is optional. And maybe I just play decks that lose to Ketsu, but I'm happy to see it gone.
Yeah, it also makes it a much more deal-withable threat because the way you're getting it is setting it. So like.
Yeah.
I don't know how many decks have
you
hand
can
rips, but a lot of... Yeah, it is a removable spell speed 1 thing now, which is probably healthier for the deck and the game in general, but it's for the deck that I play, so I don't like it.
Yeah.
Listen, all I'm going to say is, again, I've been playing VSK9 for like the last 2 months, and I have to keep reiterating this fact, but my win rate, when I went first, was so abysmal because of this damn card. I would play on
Yeah.
DB, I'd win the
It's
goddamn
awesome.
die roll, and their first action, it's like, slam Ketsu, I will add Urgula. I'll use Urgula and Malulu from hand. Make Arthaline. Arthaline 1, Urgula 2, Malulu 3. Would you like to Ripper negate my Malulu? And I'm like, well, I guess I have to. So it's like...
Yeah.
It feels so dog shit, man. It
And
doesn't
then
feel
they go
good at all.
Rahu and send the other dragon.
You go Rahu for fucking Pan, and you're like, oh my god.
It's so
And-
frustrating because this happened. I've also done this where I've played at events. They set a Ketsu from deck. I'm like, all right, my pop is dog water into this matchup. Force release, make my Ripper into werewolf. Pop the set Ketsu. They're like, cool. Activate Ketsu from hand, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, kill me. Well, kill me.
I think
So-
if that ever happened to me, I would end it all. To be honest, I can't see
This
myself
has
walking
happened
away
more
from
than
that.
once, Grant. I
Listen,
wish it
this
was
would-
just once.
If this happened to me, I would change the course of my opponent's life forever.
But no, I do think it's really cool. So it's cool to see it go to 1. It will not be that big of a hit because of all the new cards coming out in burst, but it'll be neat.
Yeah.
They literally have like a special summonable Albaz Ketu that's about to hit the goddamn field.
Yup.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for.
Die, bitch, die, bitch.
Yeah!
Thank the goddamn Lord,
Barrier
it's gone.
It's
Let's
Barrier Statue of the
fucking
Torrent, everybody.
go!
Meta threat, Barrier Statue of the Torrent is gone. You no longer have to deal with Mermail.
Why did they just not ban the other two while they were at
Dog,
it?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know why. They should have, but they just choose not to.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
So we'll deal with this in order. Barrier Statue of the Torrent is gone. Again, this is pretty much just for like Mitsu decks that were doing that stupid ass combo to get the Barrier Statue out after they go for like the Photon Galaxy rank. Fuck this card. Like, come on.
Listen, there was also the Sprite player that top 8'd a regional because he summoned Barrier Statue off of Mannequin Cat. So that was funny.
That one's
That's
also fun.
awesome.
The next hit on the list is White Binder. They have finally decided
Rest
that we
in
are
piss,
done with
bozo.
Malice.
Let's go.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news to everyone in this call.
I think
Malice is going to top, and I think we all have to accept it's still going to goddamn top a regional or maybe a YCS. Someone's gonna bring it. Like
That's the worst part. Is I looked at Binder hit and I was like, I think Malice is still playable.
Nope. It's gone. It's dead forever.
And then finally, Harpy's Featherstorm has gone to 0. That means that's mostly for the fuck off. That's for the Radiant Typhoon deck that's about to come out. Because sometimes you would just go Featherstorm and like you just win the game, and it's very nice to see that this card is gone. And I think that's all of the hits. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think
Uh-huh.
you know, it's a little bit of a restrained ban list.
Yeah, you know,
again.
I
With
feel like they
Yummy's
could've-
only hit being Snatchy to 1. I feel like
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
crazy.
real.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Hold on, I'm getting a message from my cat Murphy.
Murphy, don't tell him. Murphy,
Guys,
listen to me. No, don't let
Guys.
Murphy talk.
what did they do to my Arclight? Guys, wait a minute.
And yes, everyone who is listening to this, or I don't know if it's what's up on the screen right now, but
I
yeah.
have the ban list on screen.
Oh, okay.
So they've just been staring at Arclight this entire time.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see this card gone. I listen. I didn't even play Direct that much, and I played it a little bit. This card existing is the most unfucking fun thing when it's on the board. I could not care if people could never summon this card. They could dump it from the extra, go search, and that's fine. Go for it. Go search your ritual card. I don't care. The fact of the matter is, when you put this thing on the board and it's a macro, I want to just die. I did like a Rise Heart, and this is just a Rise Heart 2.0.
Yeah,
See-
got that yummy. Oh
That's
boy,
interesting. I feel like I have the opposite opinion, where I'm fine that it negates and I'm fine that it's a macro because yeah, it's obnoxious, but like without that Yummy folds to any
Ketsu.
Draco Tail card, yeah. Which
I will.
you know,
I will say
it's
we
not my
talk about.
favorite thing that it's a floodgate that wins the matchup, but like it's a floodgate that you put up going first that's circumstantial and also helps you into your bad matchup. But I really just adding the ritual to me is just like it just
that
this
part's
card
obnoxious.
yeah.
It's only obnoxious because they're putting it on the board. I think my statement holds up. I don't care if you can never summon this card, but if you dumped it from your extra somehow. I don't think I've ever cared when someone went normal diviner, dump herald.
I think that
true.
if it could be two of the three things and be fine. You
Yep.
can either search or ritual, macro, or it can be an omni. The fact that it's all three of these things is insufferable. If it were only two of these things, it would be like a matchup dependent card, or maybe you don't make it. Like if you can't search a ritual, well, that's a bad example. If it's not an omni, maybe you don't always make it, because like who cares
Yeah.
about the macro effect, or like the fact that it does
Yeah.
all three of those.
It's crazy.
I will also say,
And the
it's
fact that we
funny-
can put it back with Samsara Cat is ridiculous.
I would also agree. I will say the one funny thing about this ban list as a whole is we talked about how all the K9 decks have like this triangle format going on where Yummy beats K9, K9 beats Drigatel, and Drigatel beats Yummy. I think it's so funny that this ban list has taken those that triangle and made it so much worse for all of those matchups. K9 is now the K9 decks don't have as many pushes. They're gonna get even beat by Yummy even harder. Now the Draco Tail deck's gonna body Yummy because they don't have Herald, and now the K9 decks are gonna body Draco Tail because they just don't have Kanto or Malulu to deny Ripper. Like it's just funny.
They just said we want these we're not happy with like a 66-33 triangle. We would like an 80-20 triangle, and by damned we are gonna get it.
Honestly, that's what it feels like. Just looking at it from like an overhead position, that's what it feels like is gonna happen. So
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and then I breezed past it for the bit, but Featherstorm, fuck that card. I'm glad to see it
True.
gone. Next format was gonna be unplayably bad if Featherstorm was legal.
now the question that we should ask about this, with Featherstorm going away, do we feel like Radiant still is the deck is viable? I'm not gonna argue it's not viable, but do we think
Yeah.
it loses a lot of power because it doesn't have this card in its arsenal?
I don't think so. I feel like most of the time with Radiant when you go first, like the Featherstorm was like the last nail in the coffin, and I think if you just put in some other stupid ass going first card, it's mostly the same. Like if I judgmented my opponent instead of Featherstorm them, I'm probably still winning the game in that situation. I think what will literally happen is people will play like some other going first card, die-fi, call by, judgment, tactics, macro, some stupid shit, and they will just like persist. I think I think Radiant's actually gotten a lot better because of this ban list, not for any like good reason, but because it's bad matchups in Yummy, which makes a bunch of Omnis, and K9 Vanquishal, which just FTKs. Those decks get a lot worse, while Draco Tail stays relatively like it's worse, but it's certainly like the most. Like I think it's hit the least of those three decks, but that's Radiant's good matchup.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fair.
That's kind of my thought. I think Radiant has gone from like a top 6 deck to like a top 4 deck.
Okay, that's
Huge.
reasonable.
Yeah. But that actually leads us right into the last subject. You see, viewers, I don't know if you know this, mostly because we mentioned it earlier on this episode, but we released a tier list because we were so convinced and that the ban list was not going to come out. And we got significant pushback because I did not want to elaborate on why a bunch of rogue decks were bad. Is it time to reclaim the lost ground we've gone for? Do I need to redeem myself?
I think you do. I think the people need it.
Okay. We're not doing it. But we are going to
okay.
talk about the... We're not... I learned my lesson. I'm not going to talk about cards I only half remember. But we are going to talk about the meta implications of the decks that got hit and those that did not. Specifically, VS K9, Krishan K9, Yummy Mitsu, Yummy... We'll go with just Yummy for like generic Yummy shit. Draco Tail with branded cards. Draco Tail with spent cards. Radiant. I want to talk about Lunalight because I think that deck got a lot fucking better.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else? It's a Crystron. I think those are like the 8 decks I wanted to talk about.
I think it's fair. I think we'll have a category that we should talk about of just generic like combo schlop decks because I think again I mentioned this about Droll. I think that people are gonna play those decks. Like it's just gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. So let me open up the famous Notepad ++ file.
The main phase 3 ++ file.
Cool. Start with VSK9.
Dead.
This deck is fine. People are bitching, but this
Dead.
deck is fine.
It's gone.
Why do you think? Okay, I don't know if you're doing a bit or not, Noah. Do you actually think it's bad?
I think losing turn 0 Holly Sue is like a big deal.
I think that
How
literally
often?
almost
I
doesn't
asked this
matter.
as someone who's not played the deck. How often were you getting hit by this interaction? Like, honestly.
Pretty often. I don't know. It's like a 33% chance.
Well, it's a 33% chance to draw a Holly Sue, but you also need to
but you
draw a
always
fire in
draw
a dark or a fire in an earth.
That's not always the case.
And then they gotta not ash the Holly Sue.
Yeah, but then you just go draw phase and you do it because it's your turn 1. Holly Sue, okay. Holly Sue to me is just so unbelievably sticky and gets you so much advantage. Like you were talking about, Nick, removing Holly Sue, like, normally the thing you have to do is like, okay, I have one permanent removal, I guess it's Caesar. Because that's like the only one of that they really played that was impactful enough to warrant like focusing it down. But Holly Sue is just such a clear. It's on the ban list, so I'm going to hit it. I feel like there's just not going to be too many ways to play around that going forward.
I agree. I think a lot of times I think I can agree with the stance that VSK9 not having the ability to just hard open Holly Sue as often will make the deck worse. I think just opening the card, even if you don't turn 0 your opponent, that card's very, very good. It forces a lot of interaction. It does a lot. The steal's impactful. The summon from deck's impactful. I won't argue that.
So I'm putting up the 5-point scale: good, great, mid, bad, don't. I think VSK9 is great.
I think it's good.
I think
it's good.
I said all that, and I'm like, yeah, it's good.
That's
yeah. I think that's fine though. I think if we come to the agreement that it's not, it's probably worse than it has been previously, but it's still very playable. I think that's where it's at.
Yeah, I still think it's like a top 3 deck.
Ooh, top 3 is bold.
I genuinely think it's a top 3 deck.
Albaz, the Ashened or whatever the hell his name is. Albaz Ecclesia.
I don't think it's the best deck. I think it's a pretty good deck. I think it's Dracotail, then Vanquish, then some other fucking deck. Maybe Lunalight, maybe Radiant, maybe Malice.
Maybe. Then Hero.
Then Hero, yeah. Actually, you know what? They all pale in comparison to DDD, so I don't even know why we're having
That's true.
That's
now
also
that
very
draws
true.
it too.
Prepare yourself.
Yeah. Christian K9? Deck's fine, right?
This is such a hard. I feel like this is really hard.
This is like the Jokal deck, I think. This is the deck that most abuses Jokal.
I would agree. This deck gets so much more value out of summoning Jokal than any other K9 deck did. And the fact of the matter is, if you have to search Jokal, that's so telegraphed to your opponent that that's what you're going for. It feels so much worse.
And there's a world of difference between like chaotic elements grab Jokal than just a hard opening Jokal. Like you're open to Droll, you could get bailed on the chaotic elements, which does fucking nothing against the rest of your deck. I feel like it's okay.
I'm gonna say mid. I think it's mid.
I think I agree with it. It's mid.
Yeah.
I just don't see you playing this over any generic combo schlop pile.
I agree. I kind of wish they'd hit spell
I think it's
canceler,
again the issue is like I think a mid deck is play. I think that a mid deck is playable.
Yeah, I think if I ran into mid or above at a regional or YCS, I'd be like, okay. If I ran into bad or don't, I'd be like, well, it'd be a little. I don't think I should be losing this sort of thing, unless it was like a particular.
Or I guess I think at the level you think about is like if I play into a bad deck, I'm surprised this person thought this deck was good enough to bring to the event. Like,
yeah. Yummy. This is like pure / sulfa / like yummy variants that main acro K.
Whatever they need to do to make Yummy work. I feel like this is probably the one that's the most up in the air.
I feel like this is. I've been going over it in my head like the entire day at work, and I've been going back and forth, and I think it's just mid. I think it's just kind of mid, maybe even bad, but I think it's mid.
This is what I'm going to say about this deck. I think it is playable. I think it is probably it's on the top of like the stats. I think it's like bottom of good, top of mid. I think the issue with one Snatchy that I think people might be not thinking about is I think this deck loses to actual interaction on like certain pieces now. Like I will feel if you go normal summon a name and you don't make a link creepo and you make Snatchy an effective place field spell, I might actually impermit now. I might play the game, because if you're making that tells me you don't have another name in your hand, because there's no world where you're going to waste your one Snatchy there. There's just no world.
Yeah, and like I think you're gonna have to do this whack ass combo where you put the Snatchy in the graveyard and then Acrocay or Mignon it back into the deck so that you have it for follow up, and that makes you really susceptible to Bystials, especially in a format where you're not gonna have Herald. You know, like if you have to use your surprise to reborn a Snatchy to make sure it doesn't get out of rotation from a Bystial, that's so much worse than before.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'm going to say mid. I don't think it's bad. I think it's mid. I think this deck has got... Someone will cook with this deck, and it will probably do something. I just don't know.
That is
Yeah, I think
exactly
it's-
where I'm at.
Yeah, I think it's mid. I don't know. I just think it's bad. I think it's mid.
Yeah.
I'm locking
Yeah.
in mid.
And Yummy Mitsu, it's
Yummy
dead.
Mitsu.
It's gone.
See, I'm trying to think if there's... Here's my thing, right? It's not like the bridging was the best part about Yummy Mitsu. It's like going from Yummy to Mitsu, certainly good, but I didn't think it was the be-all, end-all. Because like you can still bridge from Mitsu to Yummy, and Yummy Mitsu is still like a Mitsu deck first and a Yummy deck second. So I'm honestly, I don't even
Your
even know if
ratio
it's
of
that
good
much
to bad
worse.
cards just got worse.
I don't
And that
even
was
know
the
if it's that much
problem.
worse. It just feels bad. You know, I just think it feels bad.
Yeah.
Like now you just play less Yummy names, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, but it feels bad for a reason, and that the deck doesn't work as well as it did before. So it
Oh
will
yeah,
do
no,
what
surely it
wants
doesn't
to
work
do
as well as
le-
it did before.
Right, so it will do what it wants to do less games, so it gets significantly worse. Because this was like the deck that was most likely that you would just open. Well, I guess maybe VSK9, but that you would just open hands that like aren't real.
Yeah, but like the stuff that the Yummy half lost to, or the stuff that the Mitsu half didn't. The bridging only really happened when you went uninterrupted or minorly interrupted. I'm not convinced. I wouldn't play this deck at a tournament anymore. I wasn't gonna play it anyway. But I'm not convinced it's down and out permanently.
I don't think it's unplayable. Like,
No.
I think that I think we're gonna see this across this list in general. I think this list took a lot of decks and just made them fucking mid. I think this deck is mid. I think it's playable. It's less consistent, but it just again, you don't have all the pieces. So again, you're gonna open hands where it's like, man, I only open Yummy cards, or I only open Mitsu cards. Am I really gonna gamble like on to
Yeah.
make Zombie Vampire to end on a mid Yummy board? I don't know if you are.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I feel
I-
like there's not really a reason to play Yummy Mitsu as opposed to pure Mitsu, I guess.
And for that reason, I'd say it's bad.
Okay.
I think it's bad in the way that combo decks get bad. Of like, oh, the board's crazy, but it's just so much. Everything
It's
else
just it
about
doesn't.
just
The
bad.
end board just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with mid, but I respect the
Valid.
bad, to be honest. I think that this deck could still be good if you go first.
Exactly. There we go.
Branded Draco Tail. I'm going to tell you right
Goated.
now, I think this deck is great. I think this deck is probably the best deck still.
I
Fuck
don't
this.
even know what these cards do. This shit's insane.
They
Yeah,
still got one.
it's
I
just
only needed one
great.
Ketu.
Exactly.
I'd saying it only needed one Ketsu. Like, again, this deck benefits a lot from having more Ketsu because it
No.
means you get to play less of the dog water dragons.
It's a
So,
spell. It's a spell. How do you really want to see spells in that deck? It's mid.
Never.
I want to search the dragons like when I don't see them.
This is a
Or I
bit.
wanna
This is a
search
bit. This is a bit.
Lucaeus,
This is a
like-
bit. This is a bit. This is a bit. This is bit alert. Bit alert.
Grant's tired of arguing.
I'm like, Nick is taking this point too seriously. I need to back out. This deck is just phenomenal. Nothing more to say, I don't think.
Yep.
If this is not the best deck, I will be wholly surprised. I think Magistus Dracotail also is great, but mostly because I think it functions the same, but it's slightly worse than Braided.
I think it's good.
You think it's good?
I think what we're going to end up seeing is that we've separated these two decks. I think what's going to end up happening is they're just going to get played together. Like, you're just going to play all of it.
Yeah.
Think so?
That's,
Oh, damn.
what
That's
I
like
feel
the
like.
worst case
That's the
scenario.
reality I'm expecting. Like, that's just the reality that's probably going to happen.
slop,
sounds
slop,
awful.
Slop, slop, slop.
It's fusion slop.
Yeah. Slop.
Great.
What do you think? What do you think? Noah's great.
Great slop.
Yeah. This is, I think, going to be like a one that's going to be up for discussion. Lunalite. I think this deck's like incredible, right? Like
I think it's great. I really hate to say this deck is great because
I really
don't
do
want
think
to play.
so.
I do not want to play against this deck, man.
I've been sitting there like I've been thinking about Radiant today, and I'm like, I think I might need to play Reaper for Leo Dancer.
Well, that's the thing about this deck, though, right? I don't know. I feel like, on the one hand, it's bad matchups going away, and it's, like,
Good matchups
really
are
good
here to
matchup.
stay.
What?
And its good matchup is here.
Yeah, but at the same time, the good matchup plays Titanic, you know?
Yeah, but like you have to find your way to a branded card, and then like if you just like happen to be playing Magistus and not branded, like you're fucked. If you don't
That's
find your way
true.
to a branded fusion, you're fucked.
That's not
even
true.
if you do
the
get
Magista
branded
stuff. The Magista stuff has an out to Liger. They have a very weird out, but it does work.
Okay, is it like practical?
All they have to do is they have to make the synchro and then equip it with a fusion, and then the synchro says if you have anything equipped to it, your opponent cannot activate monsters of the same type. So if you put a fusion equipped to it, then your opponent can't activate Liger. So then you can just go into a position where you out Liger after they can't Regeki it.
Is there ever a situation where they wouldn't make the synchro activate the effect to equip, and you wouldn't just like Regeki there?
But that baits it. You have to Regeki there though. That's what, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about
Yeah,
the
but
fact
like,
of
how good is like baiting it if you can't out it? You know, because you have to bait it and then you have to out it.
Again, I'm not. I think there's a rule where, like, if I hand trap you and you ended on one Liger, and I bait out the Regeki, I'm not sure if that deck has like an out that's big enough. I'd have to go through and look, but I think they do. I think they could make a monster big enough to beat over one Liger.
Yeah,
Also-
I agree. I just don't think that's happening very much. Like, I just don't think that's a practical solution. I do agree it's a out, but it's not like a common out.
Right,
I
but
suppose.
if there's, like, you're going to play through enough branded Draco Tail. Say you take Lunalite to Richmond or something, you're going to play through enough
your name is Sam
branded
Tucker.
Magistus where people in the upper echelons are going to be aware of those plays, you know?
Like, I think Sam said that he has like a list of Lunalite outs, and that once one of those is presented on the field, he just activates a Liger.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, I put it in good.
that you think it's good. Okay. I think the only problem with Lunalite is that it bricks, but I don't even know how big a deal that is because I think you could just play other consistency cards, right?
It also depends that if we're playing in a format where hand trap decks are like viable and like, because again, Lunalite's deck has a very hard time playing into like low power hand trap sometimes. Like, it will draw hands where it loses to an Imperm on Gold Leo. It will lose to Ash on Silver Hound. It will draw, if it draws a weak hand and you have the answer, it's just gonna pass. It's weird.
Yeah. I also think that like this is one of the few decks I think I'm more scared of it when they go second than when I go first. When they go first, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they get cards like Heavy Poly. Heavy Poly is a
Like,
dumb card.
Heavy Poly is incredible. When I played against Sam at the last regional, in the last round, I literally considered making the fucking combo deck. I don't know, it's not slop, but it's combo deck go first. You know, it's crazy. I don't know.
We'll see.
I think good or great are reasonable answers. I think this deck's just like really good.
I think it's well positioned. I don't know if it's...
You know what? Maybe that's a good point. Maybe it's well positioned. I still think the deck is great, but it's getting a lot from its positioning.
Yeah. Radiant Typhoon. What do these cards do?
Yeah, you're telling me. This deck is gonna be very what happens dependent, because if everyone just plays combo nonsense, this deck is. I would say that this deck is don't. But if everyone plays Draco Tail, this deck is great. You know, I think that Radiant being good is indicative of a good format. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I don't hate that logic. This is, again, I've been thinking about this. I think Radiant's a good deck. It's so hard. I don't think I could ever say this deck is a great deck.
No,
I think this deck, I think it's good. I just don't. I think it's got issues, and I don't like the new stuff doesn't really fix those issues. I think its issues lie more on the fact that if your opponent knows what they're doing and you draw a slightly weak hand, I think you could just lose.
Yeah, I think that your Radiant experience, and it kills me to say this because this is one of the 3 decks I have up for Richmond. Your Radiant experience is going to be determined by if you play into nonsense or if you play into reasonable decks.
Or if you play into Droll at 2. Yeah, it's probably pretty good.
I don't even think Droll is that big of a deal. I think a lot of the time, like, the only time Droll really hurts is when you open a hand. It's like, wow, I didn't open an MST, so I have to normal summon one of my dudes to go get MST to play. Like that, like that's where Droll is like hurts the most. It feels
That
like.
makes sense.
I think that Droll's only good if you don't open Crozia Quick Play or some way to it, you know?
Interesting. Okay.
Sometimes I just do too much in the draw phase.
See,
That's
I was
true.
like the way that Grant plays this deck when I see it in Genesis, where earlier Genesis, where Droll was the only real hand trap.
Yeah, well, Droll's a lot better when we're playing runic cards,
And
I
Pot
think.
of Greed, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Branded Ecclesia, deck's bad.
I think this deck, I would have called this deck like more than mid, less than good before. I think this deck's good.
I think it is good. I think the issue is I think people have a misunderstanding of what this deck is. I think
He's talking
when,
about me. He's talking about me here.
No. What I'm saying is, I think with the new Albaz, I think the way you play Branded changes. Because me and Rico have talked about this. He doesn't like the fact of what Branded looks like it's going to end up coming. Is it's becoming a one-card combo deck because like you can just play all these one-card facilitators that get you to Albaz, which sets up the Ecclesia, which sets up Virtuous, which sets up a fusion play in your opponent's turn. It sets all of this stuff up off of one card. Like there are versions in OCD that are just opting to play 3 safer because it searches Fallen of White Dragon. Like that's how to the point where we're at with this deck.
That's incredibly funny. That's also the antithesis of whatever Branded has become in my mind.
But that's what I mean.
Branded's about to be annoying for a completely different reason.
That's bleak.
I think it's good though. I think it being a one card combo schlop deck with good hand traps and a really good starters, can't argue against that.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that Branded Draco Tail is more of a Branded deck than Branded comma deck. You know what I mean?
Kind of, yeah. At least with the new stuff, I would agree that the original idea of what Branded is with a ton of one-ofs that are flex spots for comboing, that version is not that good anymore, sadly.
Yeah, it's just kind of been like that's just not how deck building works anymore. No, what are your thoughts?
Good. It's all right. I feel like before it had like a die roll matchup into Draco Tail. I assume since they're both getting vaguely the same cards, that's still kind of true, right?
I think it depends on
depends.
what they're aiming to do. Like that's because Secretariat is still also like an insane floodgate. Like you know what I mean?
This is
I think-
true, but I feel like Secretarian's kind of only like a half floodgate into Draco Tail versus like, I don't know, they activate Branded Fusion and you stick up a Secretarian in response and they don't have Lost Up. Like stuff
Well, I will say this new version of Branded Ecclesia, it honestly does way more when it doesn't activate Branded Fusion. Because if it doesn't fusion lock itself, it can do a lot more.
Just a lot of that makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Cody yelled at me for my fundamental misunderstanding of Branded post burst. So I've educated myself in the last day.
Oh, good. He sat his synchro ass down and listened.
I really did. Their only criticism was, you know, Grant, I think the video is fine, but I just think that you don't understand Branded. And I was like, that's fair. No,
Yeah, you're right.
I think that like when you get to legacy support, this might be a podcast like topic or whatever, but should a legacy support like make a deck good or should it keep its identity? You know, and I feel like it's really frustrating when a deck gets really good support, but it fundamentally changes what the deck is. I feel like this like Gladiator Beast is like the principal example of this, where that deck like got support, it was okay, but it fundamentally did not understand what Gladiator Beast was.
I would agree. As someone who likes Gladiator Beast a lot, it was very frustrating to watch a deck that I really liked growing up with, like from 2008 to like up to the point where it got support in like 2019. Like, and it fundamentally not be the same. It became a combo deck. That's not what it was.
And I'm looking at like Branded, it's like it's got one card combos, and I was like, that was kind of like the one thing was Branded was the only deck where Branded Fusion wasn't really a one card. Like every deck could do a one card with Branded Fusion except for Branded, you know?
I don't know. It's like Branded was a one card in Branded.
It had one, but like it's like the if I do a Chimera Branded one card combo, and like the difference between Branded Chimera one card combo and Branded Chimera 2-card combo and Branded 1-card combo and 2-card combos are like night and day. You do so much more with a second Branded card.
That's very true.
So I don't know. That might be a podcast episode in the future.
Oh, I gotta
Malice. Oh, sorry. Go on. Say your final
I
thought.
just feel like the two decks that I liked that got legacy support, they were both kind of like very in the spirit of the deck.
Draco Tail. Yeah,
just Hero and Salad. I feel like the Salad
okay.
support was very like, okay, you used to end on a Link 2 and 2 traps, now make a Link 4 with 2 traps.
Yeah,
But
Like,
but
that's nice.
I think it's kind of cool when decks do kind of facilitate and kind of like they follow what they really wanted to do.
Yes, but I've just never had the experience where I like look at a deck and I'm like, you're not what I fell in love with.
Like I think that's what
Yeah.
I think. Like if you ask like Ben from Locals, like he would probably tell you that Altergeist is not the same deck that it was when originally.
I
Because the new
heard.
sport does not work the same. Like
Yeah, now it's instead of being a trap deck, now it's just a combo deck. Like,
it's like a
okay.
mid-range combo deck. Yeah.
Malice, sorry, didn't mean to derail. Malice is bad. It's dead. Don't play it. Yes, you don't play it.
It's
I
probably
hate to be
mid.
the bearer of bad news. This deck it's at least mid. It's at least mid.
Oh,
Yeah.
It still
I think-
does everything.
Yeah, it's like I'm not playing Lancia, and I will lose games because of it. That's kind of where Malice is sitting in my head.
oh, that's miserable. Okay, well,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that.
it's
Noah, you can
okay.
cope though. I'll put Don't down for you. That's fine.
No, I'll make it bad.
We haven't made any decks Don't yet. I think we're. About
I don't think any of these decks you put up here are don'ts. Like
none of these are Don'ts. None of these are Centurion Melvin Note. And lastly, Pure Mitsu. Deck's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's bricky.
this again. I'm gonna say this, and again, because no one looks at what comes out in burst because no one's prepared. I think post burst. I think this deck is good, even with Habakiri limit.
Wow.
What comes out in burst that people are worried about?
It gets the new Archfiend card, which says they banish a ritual from deck and it becomes the ritual spell.
Yeah, that card's okay.
That's pretty good.
Listen, I don't want to. That card does way more than I think we are gonna give it credit for. I think that card does a lot.
No, that makes
Yeah, it's
sense. Guy,
it's being played
banish
at 3 in the
guy,
OCG.
add that
I'll give
guy
it some
for banish.
respect.
That's pretty good.
I still think it's mid, but I respect the idea that it's good. Noah?
Pure Mitsu? The thing is, the Draco Tail matchup's already not great, and now we're probably playing more Pan, which is the most annoying part. So, like, I feel like it's gotta be kind of mid, right? Like, positionally mid. Like, it could have a format, but this is not that format, if that makes... Like, I could see a format in which the tools that Mitsu provides, even with Haba at 1, would be useful. I just don't think it's this.
Yeah.
I see.
With all of that being said, I feel like there are what are we expecting to see like on this format? Are we expecting to see a lot of FTKs? Are we expecting to see a lot of good gameplay? Are we expecting this format to suck ass? What are we expecting?
I
feel like I
don't have faith in the community. I think we're gonna have at least one YCS under this list that's complete dog ass because everyone's just gonna bring in FTK. It's just gonna happen. I'm so worried.
Yeah, I
Hey,
think we're all
last time
bringing
that
an
happened,
FTK.
we got an emergency ban list that was one of the better ones we've ever had.
That's also
so-
true. But I think if I just don't. I don't see a world where if everyone brings FTK Automat Raziel, FTK Lunalite, and like all these other FTK decks, it's like, what emergency list are you gonna put out? Oh, you're gonna limit Liger? Are you gonna ban Duo Drive? Like, what do you do in those scenarios? Like,
Listen, if Kamal Crooks needs to win a YCS with Centurion, so that fucking Mjolnir can die for its sins, then that's what needs to happen. I think that this meta is gonna be mostly bad. I just think, except for Dracotel games, I think those are gonna be good. And I think that if you're playing like real Yu-Gi-Oh, I think those decks are gonna be good. But I think that like decks like Lunalite are gonna make the game bad. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like there's a lot of potential for abuse on this ban list. Because is Draco Tail particularly good about bullying out bullshit or no?
Yes. Just for the sheer
Okay.
amount of advantage in card, like the number of interactions and cards you get.
Mm-hmm.
Like the most bullshitty deck was Crystron, and if that didn't FTK you, you still probably outed most, if not all, of that board, and then just had enough cards in hand to beat it.
My primary concern is like Branded Ecclesia just doing FTKs and Malice still being okay and Lunalite being incredible. Those are my primary concerns.
I see.
But I think that like if we are in a situation where Lunalite is the only like good deck, like good FTK deck, that's fine. You can beat Lunalite.
Yeah.
Once you respect Lunalight gets incredible, like way worse.
And that's
I would
why
agree.
think
If
it's
you know
good,
what the deck
not
does and
great,
you
right
respect it,
there.
it does get a lot worse. But
Yeah. Like I'm sitting there, like I purchased PCR Ghost Reapers like a couple months ago, and I was like, they might begin seeing some use now, because that is the like one of the only decks that actually does lose to Reaper.
yeah,
So I don't know. I'm not confident. I think that this community are fucking crack addicts, and I think that if given the choice to play fun Yu-Gi-Oh and FTK, we will always choose the FTK.
And
so I'm
that's
not
what makes
confident.
us special. Barrier
Yes,
statue of the Nocturne or whatever the Abyss. Your time has come.
This game.
you're telling Grant, the man who plays Chimera, where he can do that. He can do that to people.
That's
I
true.
actually did do this for one YCS in 2023. I had 3 funny ass floodgates. I had King Tiger Wangu, Abyss, Anubis of the End of Anubis, I think it was, and I
Okay.
had a barrier statue of the Abyss, and the barrier statue was for Kashtira. Wangu was for Pearly, and End of Anubis was for like Unchained and Tearlament. And Baphomet had just come out, so I could dump them generically.
Yeah.
With that, do we have anything else to... I guess we can go over like rogue decks you think might be okay.
Hero
Obviously.
time. No.
Hero
without
time. I think that I speak for everybody when I say DDD. I think it's DDD. Nick, what do you think?
Don't.
No, for
DDD's DDD. You're right.
yeah, it's DDD is DDD. No, I agree. Elvenote Centurion. I think it's Elvenote Centurion.
Okay. The thing is, I don't know how to hand trap that deck right, and I'm playing
There's
decks
no
against
way to
it.
hand trap that deck right. They just FTK or they lose. That's like the only thing. That deck, I have really stopped liking Centurion since I stopped playing. It is
After
maybe one of the
Calamity
decks
was
that
banned,
like.
he said no more.
Yeah,
No,
it's crazy.
No. No, I think that playing that deck was the worst thing for me and liking that deck.
You say this.
I don't know. I feel like it might be okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's all right.
I do not want to acknowledge that after this ban list, I think I might be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So
There's
okay,
no-
we
stop.
just won't rate it this time.
Yeah,
We just won't rate it. Yeah, we just won't rate
Just
it.
remove
You
it.
know,
Just remove
no
it.
news is good news. I'm gonna cut this entire part out.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. For all my
right.
hero heads out there, I'm so sorry. I've been testing, and even with just the masked heroes, Darklaw is
He has
kind of
been-
easy to out.
He's been God's strongest soldier, but unfortunately, God is not strong enough.
I feel like once we
It's
get that,
so
like
sad.
the circular
Is it
is
now?
unfortunately the good card that is good enough to where you can actually cut a good chunk of the bullshit. Like this was just whatever. This was just my testing. But with the masked heroes, I was drawing increase like it was my job.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, I don't know. Without the circular, you just need something for bodies, so you kind of have to still play the visions.
I don't know. I feel like we had a good discussion overall. So
It was significantly better than the last time you and I had a discussion.
listen. You just underrate everything you don't know about.
I just think everyone's ass. I just think everything's bad. All right.
That's your own fault.
Yeah. All right. With that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Adios.
Another great band list for another great podcast.
This ban list is either going to be an 8 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10.
Yeah,
And we don't know which one yet.
We'll see in Richmond.